we all need food to survive. Now, where do we get our food from? Well, from different croplands and plants, isn't it? Now, how do the plants survive? Can they survive without water? Not really. So, water is one of the major requirements of all the different plants, and as a result, our food is dependent on water, isn't it? Not only food, many other factors are directly or indirectly dependent on water. For example, can you cook without water? Not really. What about drinking? Definitely, water can quench your thirst. What about washing your clothes? You require water again, and definitely all your croplands require water. So, water is very important for many different activities in our lives. And what about electricity? Right from street lights to laptops to air conditioners depend on electricity. And where do we get the electricity from? Well, major part of the electricity is generated using water. So what do we understand? If we talk about water, well, for drinking, you are dependent on water. For food, again you are dependent on water. And for electricity, also you are dependent on water. So water satisfies three major needs. Now, where do you get this water from? Well, we get the water from rivers, or a major portion of the water which we use comes from the rivers. So we can say that drinking, food and electricity, all the three are dependent on rivers. So rivers are a very important resource in a country. Now, all rivers do not have water in them all the year round. So some rivers have water in them all the year round. Some rivers do not have water in them for at least one part of the year. So there are some rivers who have water in them all the year round, while there are others in which you may not see water for at least one part of the year. India is a vast country and has both types of rivers flowing through it. So we have both these types of rivers flowing through India. So a river which has continuous flow of water all the year round is called a perennial river. So a perennial river has continuous flow of water all the year round. Now, India has a number of perennial rivers, among which major ones are Ganges, Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Mahanadi, Indus and Narmada. Now, among these perennial rivers, some are Himalayan rivers, that is, they are snow-fed. Which are those? Well, we have Indus, Brahmaputra, Ganges and Yamuna. Now, these rivers are snow-fed, that is, these rivers get their water from the snow that melts in the Himalayas. So we have Ganges, Yamuna, Brahmaputra and Indus, which are snow-fed rivers originating in the Himalayas. So you can see all these rivers are originating in the Himalayas. So we have the Indus, which flows through Jammu and Kashmir and then goes out of India. Then we have the Ganges, which originates in Uttarakhand, that is in the mountains of Uttarakhand. Similarly, you have Yamuna, which also originates from those mountains. Then you have the Brahmaputra, again originating from the Himalayas and then passing through Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and then it meets the sea here, that is in Bangladesh. So all these rivers are snow-fed rivers and originate in the Himalayas. Now there are two more rivers which are also perennial rivers, but they are not snow fed. They do not originate in the Himalayas. Those two rivers are Narmada and Mahanadi. Now these are the rain fed rivers originating in the peninsular plateau region. So when we talk about Narmada and Mahanadi, they are perennial rivers, but they get their water from the rainfall which occurs in this region. So when rainfall occurs, then that water is the main source for both these rivers, that is Narmada and Mahanadi. But these have water in them throughout the year. So when we talk about the major perennial rivers in India, they are Brahmaputra, Yamuna, Ganges, Indus, then we have Narmada and Mahanadi. Out of these, the Indus, Yamuna, Ganges, Brahmaputra, all these are snow-fed rivers. They are perennial and snow-fed rivers. While when we talk about Narmada and Mahanadi, they are rain-fed rivers. Now let's come to non-perennial rivers. What are these? Well, non-perennial rivers are also known as seasonal rivers. These rivers are non-perennial because they flow during certain parts of the year when rainfall is sufficient to provide water flow. The rest of the time they are just a dry riverbed. So whenever there is sufficient rainfall, then you can see water in these rivers. At other times they are just a dry riverbed. So which are the two major non-perennial rivers of India? Well, they are Krishna and Kaveri, which are major rivers in the southern part of India. So Krishna and Kaveri are the two major non-perennial rivers of India. So these are again rain-fed rivers which have no flow in certain parts during the summer seasons. Certain parts of these rivers there will be no flow, particularly during the summer season when there is no rainfall, because these are non-perennial rivers. So when there is no rainfall, some parts of the rivers will have no flow of water. So we have Krishna and Kaveri here. So we can see that the Krishna river flows majorly through Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh, while you have Kaveri which covers Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So these are the two major non-perennial rivers of India. So which among these is a non-perennial river? Is it Mahanadi? Is it Indus? Or is it Kaveri? What do you think? Well, it is Kaveri. Indus and Mahanadi both are perennial rivers. While Indus is snow-fed river, Mahanadi is a rain-fed river. So let's go ahead and mark the major rivers in India. So let's start with Ganges. Now Ganges originates in the mountains of Uttarakhand, isn't it? So Ganges originates somewhere from here and then slowly it passes through Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, and finally ends here in West Bengal. What about Yamuna? Well, Yamuna also originates from here, comes till here and meets Ganga in Uttar Pradesh. Now, what about Indus? Well, Indus originates from this region of the Himalayas and then it passes through Jammu and Kashmir and then finally goes out of India and meets the sea here. Now, what about Brahmaputra? Well, Brahmaputra starts from here, moves here, and then at this point it enters Arunachal Pradesh and then passing through Assam. Slowly it moves out of India and here it meets the sea. So these were the major Himalayan rivers. Now what about the two perennial rain-fed rivers? They are Mahanadi and Narmada. Now let's mark Narmada. Now Narmada starts from Chhattisgarh, right? So somewhere here, but this point is goes up and then it comes down and then passing through Madhya Pradesh, slowly it will come to the western region. So this is Narmada. Now what about Mahanadi? That is another perennial river. Well, even Mahanadi originates from the area of Chhattisgarh itself. So Mahanadi starts from somewhere here, goes up, goes straight for some time, comes down, and then it moves to the sea. So again you have some other parts of Mahanadi which also meet the Mahanadi, then it becomes one river and meets the sea. Now these are the perennial rivers of India. What about the non-perennial ones? Those are Krishna and Kaveri, isn't it? Now let's talk about Krishna. Now Krishna flows through Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh majorly, right? So it originates from somewhere here and then flows down and meets the sea at this point. Now what about Kaveri? Well, Kaveri flows through Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So when we mark Kaveri, so it starts from upper parts of Kerala, moves down and then comes like this. So here you have the Kaveri river. Now there is another part of Kaveri. So you have another part of Kaveri and these together form the Kaveri river here. So you have Kaveri in the southernmost part of India. So these are the different rivers which you can mark on the map of India. So these are the non-perennial rivers while others are perennial rivers of India. So in totality, if we talk about major rivers of India, we have the Ganges, the Yamuna, the Brahmaputra, the Indus, Narmada, Mahanadi, Krishna and Kaveri. So we have Indus here, Ganges, Yamuna, the Brahmaputra, Mahanadi, Narmada, Krishna and Kaveri, and these are the major rivers of India. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You can also register for free at deltastep.com to get all learning resources as per ICSE, CBSE, IB, Cambridge or any other curriculum. Over 5,000 amazing lectures across maths, science, English and social science. Our unique interactive video technology keeps you engaged and our iDictionary feature allows you to quickly revise any concept. Master each topic at your own pace with our adaptive practice technology and 1 million plus questions. Get instant answers and detailed solutions. Be exam ready by taking unlimited mock tests, performance analysis along with actionable feedback, personal tutors to resolve your slightest of doubts. That's not all. You also get amazing prizes like PlayStations, iPads, watches and many more, along with certificates through our Earn As You Learn program. So at deltastep.com, learning is not just fun and easy, it's rewarding too. So register for free now.